We be on for like 3, 4 hours. So I know at this point you guys don't believe me because I am not really consistent with what I say. So we're going to try to do that tonight because I don't have all night tonight. So just waiting for some people to pile up in the room. I hope that you guys are having a good weekend. The reason I want to have this live, which is something very interesting, I want to have this live because I've been seeing a lot of gender divisive content within the black community. And this is something that we see every so often. Everything is fine. Black men and black women getting along, making content, sticking together, riding together. And then an incident, either an incident happens or just out of nowhere, something happens where there's this thing that creates a discord in the community between black men and black women, where people are going online doing a whole bunch of think pieces like, oh my God, why are black men doing this? Why don't black men love black women? And then another thing is why don't black women hold themselves accountable? It's something like that. It starts off with like a question, which is often a very bad faith question. Or somebody does one of their personal takes, and they be all like, well, I went on a date and the man said I was the first black woman he's ever dated. It starts off with something like that. Then a whole bunch of people get in the comments. Then people start making response videos. Then it turns into a whole thing where everybody's now giving their personal takes. Then everybody's giving their opinions. Then next thing you know, people are doing lives on it. Next thing you know, it's a situation. It's a serious situation where everybody's, dissing each other, and now there's tension. Now people are blocking each other. Now it happens a lot. Okay. And I've been seeing this a lot, really for the last couple weeks or so, but I have been seeing this a lot today. There's this content creator. I'm not even going to say her name. Because I don't remember her name, to be honest. That's why I'm not going to say her name. But if she wants to come up and talk, we can. And I saw a little bit of her live today. I've been seeing her lives lately. The algorithm has been pushing her lives. So this content creator has been making lives because recently within the federal government, because they're really, doing a lot of layoffs in the federal government. So a lot of black women have lost their jobs. A lot of women have lost their jobs, but a lot of black women have lost their jobs. A lot of people, but in particular women in the federal government. At least that's what the news is saying, right? So she's saying that, 300,000 something black women lost their jobs and black men are celebrating. Why are black men celebrating? So in her live, she has 100, 200 something people in there, and they're all like, well, that's because black men hate black women, and that's because black men don't love their moms and hate themselves, and black men this and black men that and black men this and black men that. Now, personally, I haven't seen any of that stuff. I don't condone any of that. I would call that out. If I saw it, I have not seen it, but she's saying that. And then I have one of my mutuals, Marshall. He went in there and he's trying to have a civil conversation, and he's all like, black American men and women have been getting along for the most part. So I don't really understand what's been going on. And she got kind of upset about that because she's not a black American. I'm not sure where she's from, but she's not a black American. So she was like, oh, don't bring up black American. It's all about black people and stuff like that. So she dropped him, and then they went off on him, and then he made a live about it, and then they made a live about it, or whatever. Hold on, let me send this to her. I'm pretty sure I sent that to her at this point. Yes, everybody, let's tap the screen. So I've been looking at a couple of her content, and then some of the content of the women who are in the comment section, right? I'm waiting for, I'm going to let people up in just a little bit. I'm gonna let people up in just a second. All right. I was just waiting for BX to join the room. Okay. So this is yeah. So I was seeing this and I'm all like, okay, so I'm starting to see this now. Here's the thing. We got to take a lot of different things into consideration as to why this happens. Normally, you see this during a political season in the black community. And they do this because it's easier to kind of let me see what's the right word for it. It's easier to kind of gain a certain demographic. It's easier to pander. That's the word. It's easier to pander to certain demographics of people when there's a gender divide. So right now we're talking about lineage-based demands, and what they want to do is they want to create a gender divide so they can pander, and this goes really well when it comes to elections. So around election season, you tend to see this. All right. Also, a lot of this stuff comes from immigrants, okay, who come over here. If you come up, you got to mute your mic. A lot of them come over here and they project a lot of gender issues, gender division, and conflict that they have in their homelands. I will give you guys an example of this, and they'll do this to the community. I'll give you an example of this. Remember the woman who claimed that she who's off their mic. You gotta be on your mic. Remember the woman who claimed that she got hit in the head with a brick.
Why? Why?
I'll let you speak, but mute your mic. You mute yourself. I'm not done.
Why should I mute my mic?
Okay, well we're just not gonna do that. We're
You
just yeah, we're
rude
just not gonna do
person.
that. Okay.
Sorry, brother.
Remember the woman who got hit in the head with a brick, right? Or claimed she got hit in the head with a brick. And then she went on Instagram, she went on TikTok and was all like, black men didn't protect me, black men don't care about me, black men this and black men this. And that created a huge discord where it was a whole bunch of tension back and forth between black men and black women. Now, she's Somalian. And it was a whole scam that she tried to pull. Okay, Rhoda is her name. And actually, I talked about that. Rhoda had DM'd me on Instagram, and Rhoda wanted me to apologize. Okay, real talk, legit. I talked about this on my YouTube page. Rhoda wanted me to apologize for that, and she did that, and it was a whole scam that she tried to pull, get a bunch of GoFundMe stuff, and she made it all up. She made the entire thing up, the whole thing. And it created a huge discourse in the black community where it was like black men don't protect black women. What did black
I
men do
live in
wrong?
DC.
How did I let you back up? That was a mistake on my part. I did not mean to do that. So a lot of this stuff, and then what happens is when you have immigrants who come over here and they do that, they'll just say black, and now it's a reflection of the entire black community. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta catch stuff. We gotta stop stuff, okay, before it happens, and we gotta stop a gender war before it happens. Because I don't want this to become a thank you. Somebody said great shirt. Thank you very much. I don't want this to become a trend, and then next thing you know, now we're trying to clean it up. Once it gets there, I want to stop the problem because I already see the problem developing right now. I see it boiling up right now. I don't want it to overflow. Then get to it. Okay, but we can get started. BX will set the room, and then we'll get to the BX is the mod, and then we'll get to the speakers.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Afro.
How you doing?
So I'm fine. So when y'all come on this panel, immediately go on mute until directed to speak. When directed to speak, please lead with your race and ethnic group, and if you're over 18, don't worry about your pronouns because we're not going to, ask you about your pronouns unless you want to volunteer that information, but it's not a requirement. And you don't really have to give your exact age, but just let us know you're over 18 and allowed to engage in the conversation. So I'm going to go back to race and ethnicity, right? I'm going to use myself for an example. My race is Black, And my ethnic group is African American slash Black American, but I culturally identify as a foundational Black American. What that means is that my ancestors can be found living in the United States of America during our emancipation period of 1863 through 1865 and can be found on the United States of America census of 1870. If your ancestors does not fit that requirement, you are not an African American, and I know that's a misnomer, right? And you're not a Black American, nor should you culturally identify as a foundational Black American. So we are a classified people, and that is our ethnic group. You cannot migrate into our ethnic group. So if you have two parents and they come from the Caribbean or even the continent of Africa, then you are what your parents are, right? And so you would be like a Nigerian American, a Ghanaian American, Jamaican American, Trinidadian American, Haitian American. If you are Latino, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Dominican, San Salvadorian, any Latino, Latin country or Hispanic country, you are not that's your ethnic group. Your race would be what you present as. So if you present as a whitey person, and even an Afro-Latina, meaning you descend from the continent, then you would be with that. You're an Afro-Latina. I'm from the island of Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, and so on and so forth. Now, if you have one parent that's foundational Black American and they're from a different ethnic group or race, please, the correct term for you would be by ethnic. And then we'll ask you the country. Now, we ask this so that we can understand who we're talking to and how we can respond to your questions. Everybody is allowed to speak here as long as they're respectful, not disrespectful, and as long as they don't misidentify, because I do have my ways of knowing certain things by things you say. Also, TikTok friendly language. I think most of us have been on this app long enough to know you got to say like strange fruit, self deletion, let me see, schmurder, hard candy, stuff like that, D-rubs. If you are unsure of how to say a word, spell it out. We'll get it. Do not comment fruit emojis or F1 in the chat. Please keep it TikTok friendly language in the chat too. If you have the desire to call somebody the N word, use the ninja emoji, but I prefer you don't. But I know sometimes people just don't listen. So if you see that heart by, well, you're gonna see the heart up by Afroleaf's name. Kindly click it and complete the daily mission to help him in the rankings in the algorithm. Be sure to claim your points after you complete the daily mission because I believe that helps you too. I believe that's all, Afro.
Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank
Make
you.
sure y'all tap the screen. We're gonna have a good one tonight. Um, Not gonna be too long. I say that all the time, and I'm wrong most of the time. But not tonight. Not gonna be too long tonight. So, if you want to say something, request. Don't wait till we're closing things out and then you want to come up.
I'd like to
Alyssa.
say something. Or do
Hello,
you mind?
sorry, I'm in the
Go
garden.
ahead.
What's up? I'm here, full undivided attention.
Okay. You want
Oh,
you raised your hand. You wanted to.
yeah, just in regards to what you were saying, but I can quickly introduce myself if you guys like. Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm 22. I'm from Chicago and I am Afro-Latina. Um,
Okay.
about the case you were talking about, while that case specifically might not have been true, the conversation is still very much valid. The language that you're using is almost like you're anticipating some sort of gender war. We're already here by way of like legislation and oppression. The war is already here. At this point, we're at the point where people got to start choosing sides. Okay? It's either you're going to be on the side of like women or you're going to be on the side of patriarchy. That's kind of where it
Okay.
is.
Well, let me just say this. I'm specifically talking about the black community. I'm talking. So I know
Still counts.
you might be talking about when because you said legislation. All right.
It's
So
disproportionately affecting black women. Hmm.
okay, but I'm talking about the relationship between black men and black women. If you're talking about things that the government is doing that affects the black community, that's going to be an outside situation. All right.
Sir, I understand what you're
But
saying,
okay,
and
can you give me an example? I'm just letting you know, but can you give me an example? I want to hear what
yeah,
you.
and I want to make sure, like, I understand what you're saying, but for
Mhm.
me, as being somebody who studied political science in college, you can't like everything is political, regardless of whether or not people want to believe that. That includes interpersonal and racial relations. That includes like education and family life. That
Mhm.
literally includes day to day like objectives, like going to the store or going to the hospital. Everything is political, right? Um, how that kind of comes into this conversation then when we talk about the rise of like um I like to call it a silent war on women. Again, that is going to extend to obviously all women, but it's going to disproportionately affect black women, and it's going to affect the way black men and black women interact with each other
Okay.
like it already has. So like when we talk about the biggest thing, right? And people kind of cite like the black family and people aren't getting married and like they're divorcing and like single mothers and stuff like that, not realizing that the biggest kind of cause of that disconnect between black men and black women, one being education, which is a conversation that we can have, but two being differences in politics. Again, we can see this kind of with every race, but most notably with marginalized groups. The men are becoming more and more fiscally conservative, whereas the women are becoming more and more liberal. That is causing partisan divides that is like shuttering out like black families. So like, yeah, it's still included.
Okay. Okay then. Now you're saying that there's a war already here. I would disagree with that. I don't feel like there's, and from what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing a war between black men and black women. I Of course there are people who, that's their content, that's what they make. But you know what I'm saying. You have the people who make that content all the time. But is there a war between black men and black women? I'm not seeing that, and I'm not.
Well, I call it a silent war, right?
Okay.
So, well, silent in that, right? Like it's not going to be like obviously we're not like fighting each other physically, at least I
Oh, of
hope
course
that's
not.
not the case, right? But
I,
this is
sister,
this
I'm
is
sorry. I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
have to disagree with. Okay.
well, no, let
Yeah,
him land. I welcome this. Go ahead,
but
sir.
no, I want to hear
What
exactly what you feel like is the war. Let's. I want, because what is the war? Do you feel?
Well, it's a war on autonomy. That's the problem, right? So, are you familiar with this term, like the male loneliness epidemic?
Yeah, and I've discussed that on my podcast a couple times. Yeah.
Right. So I would
Mhm.
make the argument that that phenomenon is a self-inflicted one. It's an issue. What's the word? It's a skill issue. It's not an issue with the woman per se.
Mhm.
So men, and again, we're gonna have a conversation about intersectionality. While we are black people and we experience oppression and that we are black,
Mhm.
you are still a man that has privilege in that you are a man. We can't negate that, right? So when we talk about kind of
Mhm.
I'm trying sorry, I'm in hands, so words are not wording right now. Bear with me. So
Okay.
when we talk about like what was I gonna use as my example? Oh my God. The guy talking down there just like took me off my grind. She is
Okay.
the problem that she speaks of.
Well, let
Maybe.
me let
Oh
me.
yeah, I remember. Sorry,
I
male
want to say
loneliness
this.
epidemic.
I
Let
want
me.
to. I kind of want to interject this, right? So, so while we all are racially black, there's a difference between an Afro Latino household and a Black American household. So, the chat has been asking for clarity. Does your post or prompt include the diaspora, or is the warning for Black Americans?
My
Uh,
mom is still a black presenting
One
woman,
minute,
despite the
one
fact
minute,
that she's Latina.
one minute, ma'am.
I just
There's
wanted to
still a difference.
clarify.
I don't care how black she looks. It's still a difference. She's cultured. She's ethnically
My mother
cultured
is
as a
also Afro
Latina.
Latina. My mom is also Puerto Rican and black
okay. Okay. Okay.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. She's still
because
Hold
Latina.
it.
on. Hold on.
And
I
Hold
didn't
on.
say.
she's still
Let's not go there. We
Latina.
don't. We don't
Okay,
have
so
to do
let's.
that.
I'm not gonna. No, no. I just
But
want you to
ma'am,
listen.
The
You keep
race. I am
interjecting.
hold
black.
on, ma'am.
Did
Hold
anybody
You're
on.
a
take
dumb
away your
bitch.
blackness?
Alyssa,
Oh, I'm a
relax.
dumb bitch.
Alyssa,
Well, I
hold
could be
You are
on.
a
one
dumb
from. You
bitch.
could be one from. And
Alyssa,
you're
stop.
not a black
She's the
And my
American.
mod.
mom's
Okay,
not even
Alyssa.
You're
Mexican, you
not.
dumb
I
bitch.
don't
Alyssa,
care what your mother
relax.
is, man. She's Latina.
Alyssa, Okay, you're okay. Listen, because you were just talking about intersectionality, and now when BX talks about there's a difference between a Black American household and an Afro Latina household, you seem to be triggered by that.
I'm
But
not
you
triggered
let
by
her.
that.
Okay, well let her speak then.
I was correcting something that she said.
Well,
I don't know why she's triggered by
Don't
let her
that.
correct me.
speak.
I don't care what you
Okay,
Okay,
say.
bitch,
let
A
her.
suck my dick.
Latina,
How about
there's a
that, you fat
difference.
Alyssa,
ass
And you're a
bitch?
hoe.
I can
Alyssa,
be a hoe
stop.
and
You're a
your dad
hoe.
is still
You're
sucking
a
my
hoe.
pussy,
And
bitch.
you're
Eat a
ugly
dick.
because you got to
Eat a
wear a
dick, bitch.
hoodie. Your mother eats one every night. A pink one.
Hmm. Now, here's the thing. I'm listening to her, and all of that stuff, the intersectionality and all of that. Here's the thing. Now, Alyssa, you old enough to know you should not be acting like that. You should not be talking like that. You old enough to know that, Alyssa. And so we're not gonna do that. Okay? We set the decorum before we started speaking. All right. She got triggered when you said that there was a difference between a Black American household and an Afro Latina household. She got triggered. Now, this is what I'm saying. No, nobody disrespected you. Okay, you started coming off your mic over and over and over as we were trying to articulate to you. Now you want us to understand that there's, even though we're Black, we're men, and there's still a privilege for us being men or whatever. Oh, and you want us to understand that. And you kept coming off your mic, and then you started saying vulgar things. Okay, before BX responded to you. You were the one who started using profanity. All right. Now, here's the thing. We got to be honest. A lot of these people who are coming from, who are not foundational Black American, that's the thing. They're not. So they're coming from different households in different cultures. I was trying to let her speak to get to the point, but they're coming from different households in different cultures where the treatment between men and women are different. The power dynamic between men and women are different. And when they come here, they start projecting. This is why I just have Black, because I want it to be known. They come over here and start projecting their gender issues from their culture onto Black America, which is what she was doing here. All right. That's exactly what she was doing, which is why when BX said, hey, there's a difference between Black American household and Afro Latina household, she didn't want to let that go. Okay. Report the live. Okay. For racism. Now she has to be blocked now. Okay. She got to be blocked. Because who's being racist to you? And then she said her mother is Afro Latina. So what is your father? She didn't say what her father was. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. Now here's the thing. The whole thing, let me get the whole, as black men, we're, we got male privilege. Listen to me. In the American system, that's incorrect. In American system, that's incorrect. Why that is incorrect is because a Black man's manhood is not respected in American society. It's not. This is why they've stereotypically used to call us boy, Black men. They used to call Black men boy as a slur to let it be known that a Black man's manhood is not respected. Okay. And consistently, they animalize Black men, they degrade Black men. Okay. And they make Black men like a thing. So they consistently reiterate to society and program and socialize to society that a Black man's manhood is not to be respected. So who calls you boy now? They call us, yeah, they still do. And they call us worse things than that. All right. So yes, a Black man's manhood is not respected. You can't have male privilege if they don't see you as a human being. Black men are still seen as a subhuman. All right. So no, there's no special advantage that they're going to give us over women, over Black women, because they see Black men and Black women still as subhuman. So they do not have anything like, well, I hate Black people, but I hate Black women more because he's still a man. They don't do that. They've never done that. There's been no system in the human race. There's been no system of oppression where the colonizers or the oppressors say we're gonna give the men in the community a little bit of slack. They don't do that. There's been absolutely no system in the world that's ever succeeded that's done that. Okay, and if y'all disagree, y'all can come up. But let's get to it.
I want to
Okay,
tell
yeah, go ahead,
everybody
Mitch.
this, Afro. There is a difference between a Black American household and an Afro Latina household.
Very much
Some
so.
women are more than likely to put up with more other things than other women would. Similar does not mean same, and I don't care how dark you are. If you are my same complexion, my daddy's complexion, if you are ethnically cultured, a Latino or a Caribbean, our households are not the same. They're not, and y'all know that. So don't get up here and tell me how oppressed Black women are. We're not going by race. So when I say there's a difference, and the chat wants to know, let you know that what are you talking about? Does this include everybody? Speak from your experience, and then let the Black American woman tell you, my man did that to me, or no, my men don't do that to me. How can you tell me what I go through if you're not going through it with me?
A
There's
lot
a
of that, and
difference,
notice
y'all.
that they're young, and a lot of them, when they come from college, a lot of them get indoctrinated, and they come over here spewing certain things. And this is why I have that, because she'll make a video and she'll have a whole bunch of people agreeing, and this will be the damn spark that lets off the damn gender war. We can't have that. But I do want to respect other people's time, so let's get to
Yeah.
my brother, cousin Uncle Grampy.
Family. I wasn't trying to throw her off, but I'm glad I did. Um, I'm going to completely disagree with her position because I just don't see that Black men and Black women fighting each other, particularly now. I see most of us getting on code every day. Every day, our chain gets stronger. There are no more weak links in this thing. You are either, the only thing she may have said that was true was either you in or you out. That might have been the only thing that I would agree with her on. But as far as her attempting to say that we are in conflict with our sisters, that is such an easily accepted divide to accept. Because when you have no problem accepting somebody else's position and saying that there's validity in it, you've lost your own stance. And she lost her own stance. She's quoting all these other things and issues. She just, I again, to keep it short, I disagree with what she was saying completely. And I agree that we are and should be aware of this potential divide and conquer tactic that we know that the Democrats are going to use because they've used it time and time again. We know it's a tool. I won't necessarily limit it to the Democrat Party. It is a tool of the political elite to try and interject some sort of conflict between Black men and Black women. We've known this. We've seen this. My position is real simple. We know the cards that they have in their deck. We've seen them played out hand after hand, year after year, time after time. They cannot fool us with the cards that they have in their decks anymore. And anyone accepting that foolishness is still lost and are completely off code. And I'm for us being on code. We do not personally have to agree with everything that one of our brothers and sisters in the FBA community adheres to or speaks on. But one of the things we do know is that when they say that they FBA, now you got our attention. Now we're listening. And when it comes to our immigrant brothers and sisters, I would just say it's real clear from my perspective. We are not immigrants. There is no FBA that is claiming any form of immigrancy. So when they try and speak and put us in that same boat, in that same raft, so that we can all be rowing in the same direction, no. I'm sorry. We've tried that. And from my perspective, we've tried that for 60 years. And it hasn't worked. Those of the immigrant class have proven that they're not on our side. They're working against us. Now, I don't want to classify it as working against us, but it is because they've gotten in the way of what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want us to be on code and moving as an elite brigade. Right step with 10 million strong.
Yes.
Left step with 30 million strong.
Yes.
That's how we have to be. And when they see us acting like this, they have no choice but to adhere and come to the table. One more side thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would look at, if you, many of us have seen Game of Thrones. One of the greatest things, or one of the greatest lines in that particular episode or series to me was, "Are you going to bend the knee?" And right now we have to make the Democrat Party bend the knee, and we have to make the Republican Party bend the knee. You are going to address us where we are, because we are not coming in your direction. There's nothing that you can do that is going to pull us in your direction. Because the only thing we are now worried about is our reparations, our hate crime bills, and things of that like. If it's not affecting us or moving us in the direction of forward momentum, your case, your cause has no impact on us. And we're not going to sit up here and let you try and drag us into your fallacy of belief. And I will land it right there, brother. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. I'm gonna say this because I don't want people to forget their stance. She said a couple of things that I knew was red flags. The first thing, when I talked about the Rhonda woman, Rhoda, whatever her name is, the woman who lied about being hit in the head with a brick, she came. The first thing she said was she came there to defend her, okay, and defend the issue that she caused. Okay, so that was red flag number one. Number two, when she says, well, men are becoming more conservative and women are becoming more liberal, black men are becoming more conservative and black women are becoming more liberal. No, not really. Not black Americans, no. When you look at the polls, most black people are pretty much in line when it comes to our political views. And for the most part, the black American community, FBAs, we kind of are socially conservative for the most part to a degree. We might believe in maybe a liberal issue here or there. There might be some leeway here or there, and then we might vote for the Democratic Party. And there's a reason for that. I don't want to go too into that right now, but for the most part, black people are politically aligned, whether that's being liberal or whether that's being conservative. So it's not like there's this divide where black people or black men are super conservative and black women are super liberal. And then she's saying that that's the reason for the marriage drop. That's not true. The data does not substantiate that claim at all. All right. So she just making that up. All right.
Can I say this, Afro?
Okay.
We are disaggregating the numbers, right? So if you are a Caribbean household, we need you out of our box so that we can have the accurate numbers for things like DV. We're not going at this all as a black race. We did it for years, and our community is not where it should be because we got too many people identifying as us, using us as their main example. Our black men are getting the brunt of everything. We want to know what type of black man is doing what, because we're asking for things specifically for us. So if our men or our women have a DV problem, we're asking the government to repair us. I'm not taking on y'all fight. The Caribbean is in our government running amok. They can run amok and address y'all DV issues. So that's why we're saying what type of black man is harming y'all. Because now we're going to address it on our end for our people so that we could get help for our community. The one that's been disenfranchised for hundreds of years, right? And they deliberately destroyed our family first, and we want to repair it, and we can't do that with the likes of that chick that came up here and the people in the comments. There's a reason why we asked for your ethnic group, because we want disaggregation of all numbers. Y'all shouldn't be in our stats if y'all ain't got the same issues. Similar does not mean same, and I ain't got to tell adults that again. Now stop atting me in the comments, because you ain't going to like what I got to say. If you had a problem with your Caribbean or Latino man, you say my Caribbean man, my Latino man. Don't say black or black American.
All right.
We're tired of that.
All right. Let's get to Deborah. Are you with us, sister? Okay.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I like the topic, but I think cousin uncle or uncle cousin really addressed what the issue is. We as a people have to learn. Uh, don't drink that Kool Aid. In other words, they can say what they want to say about us. Now we might fight each other. You know, you might fight your cousin, but if somebody comes for my cousin, what are we gonna do? We gonna band together. Then we got a who right up in here. It's a problem. So when she starts talking about intersectionality, anything can be an intersectionality. I think they're skewing the numbers. But what we forget is the social economic groups that all the different FBAs belong to. And they only want to take one group. You got to take us as a whole. And as a whole, we are still more united than what people want to think. That's why they keep pounding at us, pounding at us. I'm just going to give this little story because I'm older than everybody on here. I remember I was a little girl and the YT women were burning their bras. And my mother called me and she said, look at these, you know what? She goes, that will never be a black woman's problem. And I learned right then, their problems are not our problems. Their issues are not our issues. And I don't want our young ones that, 30, 40, I'd say 30, 25, 30, don't believe that Kool-Aid. They want you to believe that. And since when has the FBA family been able to really exercise patriarchy the way it's set up? We haven't. Our men have. You can only do that when the structure allows your man to be powerful. And some of us, all my friends and all my cousins, we grew up with our fathers in our home. I am so tired of hearing that. And I grew up in the suburbs with a whole lot of YT girls and boys where their father wasn't nowhere to be found. Do you see what I mean? So numbers, and since both my father's an engineer, my sister's an engineer, numbers can be skewed depending on how you want to fix it. I tell my people, don't believe the Kool-Aid, because if they're coming for us, you got to know we've been here. Now my family, we can trace it back to 1820. I forgot to tell you that part. We've been here for a while. We're not going anywhere. And that will tell you how outstanding we are if you keep trying to throw them bricks and we keep deflecting them, right? So I want the young women, don't believe that. You don't hate, whatever the thing is, you don't dislike a brother. He doesn't naturally, intrinsically does not like me, because when we are in the fight, we're going to come together. Look what's going on with Target right now. And all that man did was switch places. Don't believe that either. He's a COO. He didn't leave. So see, it shows you what we can do when we're in lockstep with each other. And I'm going to land my plane with this. We are a lot more cohesive, and we must take into the fact that FBAs are in several different, we're in all the different social economic branches. So when they talk about one group, you're not talking about the group that I came from or the group that's above me. So understand, black men are still marrying black women. And the largest group to be baby mamas, they already predicted it. It's going to be YT women. So somebody's getting the same black man. I'm going to leave that alone and land my plane.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
All right. Yep. Appreciate you, sis. Let's get to Wall, and then we'll get to Call Me Chris. Call me Chris. Yeah, Chris. Okay. Wall, you gotta mute your mic as you're coming up. Wall, are you with us? Going once, going twice. All right. Call Me Chris. You got it.
His name is Wally, so maybe
Wally.
that's why
Okay.
he's not
I can't see
answering.
the I. Wally.
Yeah, it's an I.
Wally, are you with us? Okay. Call Me Chris. You got it.
Hey everyone, and thank you, host, for having me. I came in a little bit late, but I wanted to address the prompt. But since I've been in here, I've heard so many things across the board. I'm not even quite sure where I want to start, but I do want to align myself with what Deborah said to a different degree. She mentioned the different social classes for FBAs. I am a Black American, born and raised for generations to come. I'm not Caribbean. I'm not anything else. My people are here and they were part of the enslaved. So I can say that definitively. I also can come from a different perspective. I would love to say that I had my father in the home and that was my upbringing, but that's not true. The truth is, on paper, I would probably look like what the immigrants come here and judge. And I just simply mean coming from a single parent home in an inner city. But I can stand here proudly and say that in spite of my upbringings, you know how everyone says Americans are lazy and they shouldn't pull them, you don't do this, you guys aren't they say that we don't utilize our opportunities, et cetera, without having the full knowledge and range of what it looks like to be born and bred here. Being a woman from a very strong inner city, I'll put it that way, I have been able to travel the world and I've been able to have amazing jobs that paid a lot of money. And I did all of this and I'm a college dropout. So it's not about where you start, it's how you continue and who you decide to be in those moments. I don't give myself a lot of room to be, I'm very gentle with myself, but I don't give myself a lot of room to dwell in any particular circumstance, which has helped. I said that for a reason. I feel like, as far as the FBA community, of course, we're flawed and we have a long way to go. There's a lot of anger and misunderstanding across the board. And I think that it is going to require tougher conversations just like this one. Like your prompt says, beware Black gender war incoming, right? And there is a lot of discourse between men and women for a myriad of reasons that we can't obviously cover in one night. But I can say this: if divided, we will never win. We have to find a common ground to get together and move forward. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of discontent, a lot of angst, but that has really not helped us at all. And then you have people coming in. I don't have any real issues with any other, anyone else from the diaspora, apart from the fact that when you come to somebody's home, it is your responsibility to be respectful of that home. Nobody should be able to come into your house and tell you what the hell to do in your home. That's my personal opinion. Nobody can come in here and tell me that I'm lazy and that it's dirty and that you don't do, you know what I mean? Which is what they teach them. The problem is there's a lot of ignorance and misinformation spewed to those people in the diaspora as well as us. They come over here and think we're lazy. We come over here and think they're, disenfranchised and that they live in huts and teepees. And that's not true. I can verify it. I've been to several countries in Africa. So I think that because of that, none of us really are doing our due diligence with getting aligned and getting this shit right, because it's a male patriarchal white tea system, and it's not something that we've been able to really succeed in. Now, as far as African Americans and our plight here, we've been able to come leaps and bounds in spite of. We're inventors, we're healers, we're trendsetters. We've always been those things. The entire world looks at us. So for a while, we didn't have a different scope to look through because we're so used to everybody looking at us. And now other things are starting to come to the forefront and we're having to pay attention. I'll end with this. In order to go to really get to the guts of everything, we have to know where we come from and have to align with where we're going. Thank you for having me.
I'm new up here. I don't know if I don't want to interrupt anybody.
I'll let you go next, but let me get to JPEG real quick, and then I'll let you go. JPEG.
Okay.
You guys can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So I see the prompt Black Gender Wars. Are we talking about like FBAs in the United States?
Yeah, we're talking about FBAs, but I have Black up here because I noticed that it's not really FBAs who started.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's really not FBAs who really started, and then next thing you know, FBAs kind of dragged into it by proxy.
Can you just say like kind of your outlook on your prompt, I guess, because I can't.
Okay, well, somebody say host line. No, I know I ain't. My outlook is that Black men and Black women, of course, there's always going to be some issues between individuals. That has always happened. You know what I'm saying? We can't act as if we're all this army and all think the same. No, but right now there's no major issues where Black men are making videos about Black women in mass. Black women are making videos about Black men in mass. But I'm starting to see, and normally it starts off small with a few disingenuous conversations, of, well, man, Black men really hate Black women, or man, Black women is this, and this. It starts off with a few bad videos, a few disingenuous lives, and then next thing you know, that starts to spread and it becomes contagious, and then people are starting to respond to it, and then next thing you know, there's a tension in the gender war in the Black American community because of something that some tethers started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. I've already been seeing these lives and these videos, so that's why I'm trying to warn people that it's incoming.
So I'll do a alternative perspective because I guess I haven't thought about the prompt like this, but what I've been talking with my dad about was that I feel like these gender wars are happening with FBAs. I don't think it's on the scale of what people think on social media, but I will say that I think one of the main problems with black men and black women is that we have this capitalistic mindset, which is fine, I guess, because that's how the world works. But I think that if we continue to acknowledge that we are FBAs and stop saying you're African American because we're not, and we have more compassion for each other. We obviously can't change the system, but it's like in our own communities, I know it's hard not to have a capitalistic mindset of you trying to make money and blah, blah, blah. And I think that has a lot of divide between black men and black women because we're trying to hold up like, oh, I'm only going to date a guy who makes this amount or blah, blah, blah. But that system has always been an advantage that white men and white women have had, if that makes sense. So it's like it's hard for black men and black women to ever be that because they've never viewed us as even having that type of equity in this country because they've never gave us reparations. So it's like we will never be how a white man is, if that makes sense. So I feel like that causes a lot of divide in the race war or just like gender wars because we're striving to have all this money and blah, blah, blah. But it's like we need to try to build community with each other, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, we do need to build community. So let me just allow you to articulate a little bit more. When you say capitalistic mindset, you mean pretty much putting money first in a relationship? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so I'm saying like obviously we all want to strive to like make it in the United States or whatever, but for us to hold black women or black men to that standard is kind of disingenuous to the conversation because it's like we've lost so much equity with slavery, Jim Crow laws, and then we had the civil rights movement that kind of benefited black people, but at the end of the day, it kind of benefited people of color in general. And that's when it comes to like Africans and Mexicans and things like that. So that's what really the civil rights did. It like gave everyone the opportunity to come to America and really ball out, but they never really gave black Americans what they deserve. So now you got these people from Africa and stuff coming over and then they disrespect us because they just think like, oh, we're lazy and blah, blah, blah. And it's like the system was made for it to be like that, though. The capitalistic system was made for them to benefit. We never got to participate until like the 1950s, 60s, 70s. So we haven't been doing it for a long time. So I think it's disingenuous for us to expect our partners, black women, black men, to have this certain status, like making all this money because it's like we never even, my parents don't come from nothing. My grandparents don't come from nothing. So it's like that expectation, I feel like causes this conversation. Like one aspect of the conversation, obviously.
Okay, kind of like the 50-50 conversation.
1,000%. I've heard that for the last 5 years. And like, I understand for sure, but it's like, we're not like them. So we can't compare ourselves on that level because we haven't had the chance to build that equity in the United States. They've never given us that chance.
Okay.
And the 50-50 conversation causes a lot of divide, not even just for black Americans. I've heard white people have divide in it. So yeah, that's just my take on it. I feel like capitalism for black people kind of just, I don't know. That's what divides the community aspect because people are trying to strive for this, but it was never built for us in the first place. So it's like we need to have more compassion and empathy for each other.
Can I ask a quick question? And please don't kick me off. I just wonder with JPEG, with what you're saying, is like, do you understand? Because I come from a mixed race family, right? Like we have everybody kind of in our family. The thing that I wonder about is have you done the research to understand who owned what at what point in time that subjugated people throughout, the history of what we have as the United States, right? We did have slavery.
What are you specifically talking
First
about?
off,
wait. What are you?
You asked that question terribly. What does that mean?
Like, what are you specifically talking about?
What I'm saying is like, I come from Ireland, and I have my direct descendants. We've been fighting a war
You're
for
mixed
almost.
race with you're
No,
mixed
he's
race
not.
with
He's
what?
not from America.
You're mixed race with what?
Oh, I'm mixed race with people from Africa, people from Eastern Bloc Europe,
What are your parents?
from
What are your
Thailand.
parents?
Is
This
German
is
and
not this
Nigerian.
is not Forever 21 or DNA 20 whatever.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah. German and
so
Nigerian.
German and Nigerian,
Yeah,
and
military.
you're from Ireland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, from my father's side.
Well, I guess I want to understand what your
So
first point is.
which
Is
one
like,
of
what are
your
you?
which one
My
of your
question
parents
is my
which
question
one of your
is
parents is Nigerian?
that it's
Which one of your parents is Nigerian?
so frequently I
Hold
just
on, no,
wonder
no,
Answer
no.
the
Which one
why
of
question,
your
we could
parents?
use
bro.
No,
the
stop,
word
Answer the
stop,
white
question.
stop, dude. Which one
white
of your
as a
parents is
bad.
Nigerian?
You know, we have white that's good. Who
He's still
like
not.
if there
No,
was if
no,
there
no. See, this is what he's doing. I'm mixed
Right.
race. He's talking about some DNA percentage. This dude is 6% Nigerian, talking about, well, I am mixed race. Oh, dude, okay.
Well, what he
This is
wanted to do
damn
was
Caucasian. You can get out of here.
he wants to equate being Irish, which they were the form of slavery. But see, like I put in the comments, originally the Civil Rights Bill was only for the children, the descendants of people that were chattel slaves. It was very specific. Then they changed it to
But
people of color.
look
So
at the
that allowed
prompt.
every
Look
hold
at the
on.
prompt.
That allowed everybody to come in. That was the one that opened the floodgates for everybody else, the Asians, the Southeast Asians, the Caribbeans, the Africans. That is what opened the floodgates for them when they changed that wording. That was only supposed to be for us, and they changed it, and that is the thing. And we never thought the orange person would benefit us in so many different ways, because a lot of people voted for that because they thought, oh, it's going to be us, not realizing you how are we going to be expelled? We are America, right? And it has shaken them to their foundation, because now they realize, oh, you voted to exile yourself.
And
That's
Deborah, I want to add to that Afro Elite.
my
What
name's
makes me
Deborah,
mad?
sweetheart. It's
I'm so, I'm,
Deborah.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry for interrupting you, but what makes me mad about people who come and say Irish and
Right,
Jewish and German and stuff like that is like, yeah, you guys used to have your own culture. You're right. You guys used to be individual people, and guess what you did? You assimilated to whiteness, and now you guys change your last name, and you are white now.
right,
So it doesn't matter. I don't care if you're Irish. Your last name is not Irish anymore. You
right.
guys changed it in the 60s.
Whereas we can't change. I just wanted to make that everybody says the law, the law. That is when that law was changed. And also, I'd like to rebut. You know what? We can work within any system. They wouldn't have been so busy surrounding our cities or burning our cities down. I had family who lived in Tulsa. My grandfather's side is from were Creole and black and
But
Indian. From Wetumpka.
hold on,
You
I'm
know.
gonna let you go in a little
Okay.
bit, but
I'll be quiet.
there's a
I'll be
couple
Can I
quiet.
other
say
people I
something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be
Curl
quiet.
Power, you got it, and then we'll get to Vontae.
Yeah, thank
Go
you so
for it.
much. I just want to add on to what JPEG was saying. I was just going to say something similar. Like, I think the issues that we have, which I don't consider it a war, but I feel like the issues that we have as Black Americans is I just see things like maybe, like he mentioned, like, financial discussions or things about, like, I don't know, like just the dating scene, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's the disagreements that I see with Black American women and Black American men. But I'm not seeing this war that like some of these immigrants try to say that we have. Like, I don't think we have the same level of extremes issues that they have. Um, I'm not trying to generalize, but what I typically see in like a lot of immigrants is they have issues with like forced marriages, arranged marriages, the
Mm-hmm.
fathers being extremely abusive, and the women are just they're basically desperate for men or husbands, and it's considered honorable for them to have a husband, so they'll do anything, work to death and everything to say that they're married or whatever, while the husband is a cheater and he may provide. And I see a lot of extreme situations, and when you dig deeper, when you talk to these women, these immigrant women, you dig deeper, you'll see why they
Mm-hmm.
say these things, and they try to generalize and say, oh, it's all black men. No, it's not all black men. Just speak to your culture and your community, because I haven't experienced that as a Black American. But again, we do have our issues, but I've never been oppressed by a Black American man before. Black American men aren't oppressing me. They're not,
forcing me to do things or trying to force me into a marriage with a 40-year-old man. Like, I have never experienced and I've never seen that in my community. So I just wanted to say that, like, I think they use our community to express their grievances with their own cultures, and they just need to speak to their cultures.
And let me add to that before we move on. There's always been conversations about dating. That's always been a thing. It's always been dating shows, people having movies about dating, books about dating. That's always been a thing. It's always been something that people talk about, okay? Right now people are kind of still talking about, the dating dynamic is 50-50 okay? Is a coffee date okay? What's a good amount of money for a first date type thing? And so that's a conversation that's really normal because it's always been that. But they're coming from, like you said, cultures where there's like arranged marriages and there's just like DV in the middle of broad daylight in the middle of the street and stuff like
Right.
that. Like they're coming from that. So their gender dynamic is vastly different from ours over here. Okay, so then when they come over here, it's a lot of projection of, oh no, it's a war going on, it's battling, it's night and day, it's cats and dogs, and we like, that's not what we see. That's not what's
Yeah,
in
and
our
then they
community.
use our community to express their grievances with. It's just I'm kind of tired of that. Like, stop trying to put your baggage on us. Like, we're dealing with our own stuff. And then I saw somebody in the comment. They said something about black men married to too many white tea women. Do you see what these Caribbean men are doing? These Caribbean men are obsessed with white tea women. Like, start there. Stop worrying about black American men and worry about your culture. You guys have issues with dating outside of your race too much too.
Yeah.
The UK, they're experiencing something right now when they're saying the Jamaicans possibly may go extinct because the men that and that's not, and I don't even care about interracial dating. My point is that they always try to like throw things like that about black American men, but then they think that we don't know this about their people as well, but yeah.
Yeah.
And
No, that's
again, I
true.
don't care about interracial.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Y'all tap the screen. Let's everybody tap the screen. Tap the screen. Tap the screen. We got a lot of people in here.
Black
Vontae,
women, um, black women, prefer outside of their race. They
before you continue,
Hey, that's incorrect.
where's your
That's incorrect.
lineage from? Where's your lineage?
ethnicity,
Yeah,
USA.
that's where your family's from. So your
Yeah,
parents,
no,
both your parents are descendant of American chattel slavery, right? Is that what you're saying?
yes. And grandma came from Cuba.
Your grandma came from Cuba on what
When
side?
did grandma come from Cuba?
Man, great grandpa. I'm sorry. Who interrupted?
Okay, your
I
great.
did.
Hold on.
It's a simple
Okay, hold on.
question. What year was it?
Your brother.
Brother,
Okay.
this came from my great grandpa came from Cuba, and maybe I would suggest, maybe I'm not as smart as you guys. Maybe these women and
Okay, hold
brothers
on. You're
here
not as smart.
are
Okay, let me
college
ask you.
educated.
Which father, which side of your family, your mother or father side, is Cuban?
Mother,
So your mother's family is from Cuba, right?
yes,
Okay. And your father's side is FBA, right?
Bahamas, Bahamas,
Your father's side is from the Bahamas.
yes. So
And your
I
mother's
do I
side is from Cuba.
can I not and can
Hold
I
on.
not
Let me just
partake in
let's
this
just
conversation?
clear. Hold on. We're gonna clear things up. So your mother's side is from Cuba and your father's side is from the Bahamas, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you finish, but just so you know, we know that you lied because you came up in here saying that your family is descendant of American chattel slavery, and none of your parents are that. So you lied. So that's a really bad way to start your point. But go ahead.
Where did I'm not college educated, but where did slavery begin? I'm asking you.
That's not the conversation. What were you trying to
Exactly.
say?
You don't have an answer.
I have the bro. That's not the conversation. You lied. Don't try to work your way out of that. You lied. You're a lying
downplay
cosplaying
it.
tether. That's what you are.
No, okay.
And now you
You
want to
just
come up
don't call
here.
me a
Now
liar, bro.
you lied. What are you talking about? You lied. There's almost 200 people in this room. Everybody
What are you
sees the fact
talking
that you
about?
lied. I asked you a very simple question, and you said that you're
Y'all,
a black American. Okay, you know what? We're gonna and
no, I was
first off,
born
and then you're
here.
gonna say
I was born
black
here.
women
So
are
okay,
obsessed with
go
white
ahead.
men.
Go
Is that
ahead.
what you were gonna say? Now notice he
Go
said
ahead.
that black women are
Okay.
obsessed with
Now you
dating outside of their race, and he's not gonna talk about his ethnic group of people. He's not gonna talk about that. All right. He's going to talk about black women, and that's going to be by proxy black American women. And then I asked him where's he's from, and he kept going on and talking about how he pretty much implied he's FBA. I had to ask a million follow-up questions, and now he's saying, oh well, yeah, my
Afro
mom's
Elite,
from
can I
Cuba
talk?
and my dad's from what did he say, Barbados? What did he say, Barbados or something like that? Cuba. He's no, his mom is from Cuba. And then
Dad side is from the Bahamas, which
Bahamas.
is
He said
not
Bahamas.
America.
Yeah, Bahamas. Okay, it was Bahamas. Bahamas. Okay, I knew it started with a B. So you lied, and this is the thing. They'll come up here and they'll project, and then they try to disguise the fact that they're immigrants. Y'all's situation is very different from our situation. So we're going to continue the conversation. All right, we're going to move on.
How you doing?
Hold on, hold on.
All
You
right.
What we're
lying
going to
here,
do
and
is we're going to
are
get
you
to
Black American before we
now with
put
that
you on
accent.
mute?
No,
I
no,
hear
no.
accent.
I'm
Right.
black. I'm black. Yes, yes, I'm black.
What kind of black?
I'm
No, no,
African
no. We're
black.
not doing
African.
race.
I'm
Okay.
African black. I'm here
Okay.
to
You know
recover.
what, sir?
I'm
Okay,
here to
take it.
recover
Look. Okay,
my
go back on mute. Go back on mute. I'm gonna tell you this, y'all. I gotta get this off my chest. I don't expect an African to be anything but black. When y'all say black African, I think y'all are
black
weak.
African. Yeah, yeah, because listen,
Why
you're
would you
my
call a
kids.
white tea
You're my
person?
kid.
Why would y'all call a white tea person an African? Who else is supposed to be on that continent but African? Like y'all pissing me off tonight. That lady came in here with that energy. I don't want to hear nothing from the Caribbean talk about they was here for civil rights. Y'all was only hearing limited numbers because the United States didn't want y'all black asses in here. Y'all Afro-descendant asses in here, okay? Excuse my language. Now, y'all didn't really start migrating in here until after our civil rights movement. And even then, you wasn't beat to the white meat like my elders and my ancestors. We gonna stop this. And when we ask you what type of man you got, we expect an ethnic group. Right? Because y'all quick to tell us that's why our men marry us more. Well, we want to know what's going on in y'all marriages since y'all dissecting us so much. Tell us what type of man you got. Because I understand you're black racially, but we go by ethnic group around here. And so does the United States. That's why affirmative action is gone. DEI is gone. The Fearless Fund is still, I don't know, they're in limbo or something. Anything by race can be attacked by law. So let's not play. And when the Caribbean went for reparations, they went on their own. They didn't put us on the docket. They what's they called? Delineated first. Y'all gotta cut it out.
All right, we're gonna
Go ahead, Apple. She pissed me off.
yeah, we're gonna get
Um,
to Coco.
hi, Alfred.
Hold
I
on, hold
just
on. We're gonna get to Coco real quick. Coco's been waiting.
Hi everyone.
How you doing?
Thank you for allowing me up.
Hi, Coco.
I just wanted to say that, you know, I've been married to a Black American man, which I'm Black American too. Black American man for 10 years. And I think, it's more of the media pushing a certain agenda to make it seem like Black men don't want Black women. You see it on TikTok, you see it on YouTube, you know. And they push a certain narrative, like you see like a couple of videos come up where guys were like, oh, I only want white women or I want this, but it's only like one or two or three or four. But in collective, like experience with Black men are different. Like my son played football that's coached by a black woman, Black man married for many years, and Black women can't even walk to the parking lot without the Black coaches walking us to our car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like at the end of the day, I think it's a certain narrative that they want us to see or think that, we're not desirable by our men, or um, we don't get along. So it's like at the end of the day, I think that the most black men are married to black women, like in statistics. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's just a narrative being pushed, because you see the commercials now where you see the Gap commercials and it's interracial, or you see like, you know, Christmas ornaments that I seen the other day. It was one black man with a white woman as, like on a little statue. So it's like it's a certain agenda being pushed. And I feel like social media is what makes it seem like that's what's going on. But in real life, when you come, like I live in Inglewood, California, so it's like even y'all talk about gangs or whatever. I grew up in Inglewood, California, and those gangs and them black men made sure nobody ever touched us. So at the end of the day, I feel like it's just like a narrative being pushed, and then you just got to be smarter than the narrative. Read the books. You read different books, you see the narratives that's been pushed and the agendas that's been put on us from day one. So it's like, just read the books, learn. Like, we just need to learn and be more aware, open our eyes, because it's a gameplay. And that's all I have to say. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Can I say something after her?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
let's.
diluting us.
Yeah,
They're diluting us.
that's true. I want to get to Yeah Baby.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I've never seen that gift before. Shut up, brother.
Man, stop being rude and get your mic back up. Be an
Um,
adult.
well, I don't know about the whole conversation. I just got here not long ago. So I was just trying to listen, but then there was something that just pulled me back, because sometimes I like to be in the comment section instead of coming up. There is something that the other lady, which is her name is Beers, I think Gatekeeper or something. She was saying, why would you call a whitey an African? That particular part just triggered me, because Africa is a whole continent, right? And then when you hear about North African, you're expecting is like a white person. If you hear about West African, you're expecting a very dark skin or whatever. And when you hear East African, you exactly go the same as West African. So I'm just trying to say, with we call a white person African, it's because most of the people that are being in Africa, which is being colonized by the Arab or French or Greek or whatever it is, they've been there for thousands of years. So you can't just telling a person, oh, you know what, you're a white person, you can't be calling me an African. It's the same thing that goes for Black American. You came from
Okay.
Africa.
Okay, no, that's not the same thing. Because my
Hold
haplogroup
on.
comes from North Africa,
Well,
ma'am. So I know the whitey people over there are
okay.
invaders.
The
But can
thing
I just
is
say
that you're
something?
saying they've been there for thousands of years. They haven't pretty much. A lot of them have not been on Earth for thousands of years. And do you have anything at all to say about the topic in and of itself? Just the topic.
No, I've no idea. I'm still gonna listen, and if I have, I would definitely say something.
All right. Okay. Let's get to Morpheus. Morpheus at the bottom.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, brother, how you doing? I'm a Black American, actually born in Bronx, New York. My mom is from people from North Carolina, a little place called Orlando. That's kind of like Orlando, but with A and N. Anyway, and my dad's side is on the South Carolina. He's Geechee on his side. But yeah, what you're saying is on point. The reason why I came on here, because I would notice for a long time they've been projecting their gender dynamics. Like for example, my ex-wife is Haitian, and some of the stuff she would say, I'm looking at her, I'm like, what? Like, we'll go on her dynamics. A lot of Haitians keep it quiet, but it's not just them. The Caribbeans and the Africans have it too. Like my homeboy just showed me a video from Nigeria. I'm going to keep it PG for you guys. It was a horrible video of a guy with a machete taking a woman's head off while she's alive. And then after she was dead, he cut her, you know what, her cat off. Like that's what I realized. These are not the same people. I don't care how mad I am with a woman. I can never do that. You know what I'm saying? So they're too scared to say whatever culture they're from, men or women have problems. So they use our culture as like to get their grievance out. That's what I've been noticing. And you got to be real careful. Like the guy that came up here, he's Caribbean. A couple of years ago, before we started doing reparations, 'cause I don't know if you guys noticed this, as reparations got more serious, all of a sudden they want to be black now. Because before that, they would never say that. Oh, I'm Haitian. Oh, I'm Jamaican. Oh, I'm Nigerian. They would normally say that. And one last thing. I don't know how you guys feel about Tariq Nasheed, but he said something very interesting because he's from California. He said that back in the day, the black community over there in California was more in unison. And then a lot of Belizeans came over and started a lot of gang violence. Well, that's true over here in New York. In the 80s, a lot of Jamaicans came in, the Jamaican posse, and they was like doing a lot of shooting and it was going crazy. Because before
Yeah,
that,
you got to kind of code your words. Like, got to say pew pewing.
oh,
I know it's
oh,
elementary, but you know.
no, I
Yeah,
got you,
I've
I
been
got you.
cussing enough for the night. Yeah. Go
No,
ahead,
I
son.
got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. My bad. My bad. Yeah, there was a lot of pew pew, and and I think about that. Like I live here in Orlando, Florida. You got the Zoe Pound down there doing a whole bunch of pew pew and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like, because you think about it, in the '60s, the civil rights movement, like we had more legitimate. We were more married and together. And then when they started bringing a lot of these immigrants came in, and most of the men came in, they always had illegitimate kids. You know how many illegitimate kids are out there in Jamaica? My homeboy, my next door neighbor, he's cool, he's Jamaican. He told me everything. Like he told me that's why like a lot of Jamaican men like to date white women because the Jamaican women are scandalous. We always hear about Jamaican men being scandalous. The women are way more scandalous than the men. Do you know that I think they had a story about most of the women when they say that certain Jamaican men or the father, they're not really the father. Like it's really really high. I forgot the terminology that's used,
Fertility
but
fraud.
yeah, it's really really high. And I think Nigeria is number two in the world. It's like they're going neck and neck, Jamaican, and then they project all that. Oh, you Black Americans are baby fathers, baby, you know. And when they start coming in here in big numbers, that's when you start hearing. Like, as you look back in the '60s and '50s, our grandparents' age, you didn't hear that none of that stuff. I mean, they did their own little thing, but they knew, you had a dad that had another family, but he's still trying to provide for both families, like kind of like fences. That's the worst that you would see it back then. You know what I'm saying? So, I just came up here to put my 2 cents.
Have a high rate of paternity for Jamaica, and then you said Nigeria too.
Yeah, yeah, they have a big
Um,
fraternity fraud, and they have a crazy thing about that is you look it up. Nigeria, they have so many kids there. They're the youngest in the world because they have so many kids. They have 300 million. That's the population of America, all inside of Nigeria.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Nigeria is about this. It's smaller than England, or like maybe it's actually smaller than like Tennessee as far as square miles. It's really small, but they do have a lot of people crammed in that tiny little space. But Morpheus, you said a lot, and I agree with everything that you said, specifically with the gang violence and the things that they like to project. They bring it here, they're active with it, and then they say, "Look at the Americans, look what they did." Or on another scale of it, they'll get into position of power where they'll be commentators on television shows, or they get to be in these, executive offices, and they try to speak for Black Americans, and they can't because you don't come from this. You don't come from this stock, but they speak against us. A lot of them have been part of the reason why we've had so much resistance for like reparations and those types of conversations. Because I've seen them come into places, that they don't deserve to be in and say, no, no, Black America, there's reparations is not needed. They can just pull themselves up by the bootstrap. My parents are from the Caribbean and they came here and they were able to do this, this, and that. And that's just unfortunate on our side. And then, the white tea people like, yeah, see, look, they said it too. We don't need to pay this and that. They're trying to find a way out. So everything you said, brother, was on point.
I'm gonna say this
So,
before we move on to the next speaker. Before we move on, this
Well,
is
well,
something
well,
that we definitely got to acknowledge. Okay, which is why we got to disaggregate census data, which is why we got to delineate. Because when I hear about great, luxurious Nigerian weddings, they like to hold that W. They will proudly hold that W. We'll be all over the shade room, all over Instagram. They'll hold that W. But then when you have barbaric things like you just said, and I've seen videos, not that video, but I've seen videos similar that goes on in Africa. They don't like to claim that part, but they'll come over here and they'll project anything negative. They don't want to claim it with their ethnicity, but when it's positive, they you see the flags in the bio, and it's their ethnicity and it's their culture and it's all of that. So this is
Yep.
why we got to make sure that we delineate, because they can't leave their garbage and then take the good stuff, and then leave their garbage, take the good stuff, leave their garbage, take the good stuff, and we wondering why there's so much trash
Yeah,
in the
you're
community.
right. You're right about you're right about that, King. I just want to say, that a lot of this mess has to stop. A lot of this mess has to stop because if you look at it,
Mhm.
for one, when they come over here, they're already of that mindset that that we are not the cause of them coming over here. So already they're uneducated. They think that the United States is in a vacuum, a place where there can be no poverty within the black community. Like they really, really believe that all of us are supposed to be wealthy. We're supposed to be living in mansions, and that we're literally a waste if we are not living a wealthy life. Because this is what their mindset is. Overseas, and then they bring up stuff like the us killing each other in the streets and stuff like that. But
Make
they
sure
have
you don't say the
tribes
K
over there.
word again.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that they say that we pew pew each other, and they have whole tribes that are at war with one another. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I don't get. But I do want to touch on the reparations, and then I'm gonna land my plane. Like, I don't understand it how, like, now that we're talking about reparations even more and even more, you have some of them who really believe that, oh, now they want to join this black thing because they believe for some reason that they will be entitled to what our ancestors fought for. And I really don't understand, how they could have such a mindset when you got them thinking that, then you also got the other side that knows that they won't be getting any of those reparations. So they spew out information saying that we don't deserve this, we don't deserve that, we're lazy, we're only looking for a handout, we don't work hard for what we want and things like that. And I just think we as a black community, it's time for us to start getting together. It's time for us to start gatekeeping. It's time for us to really start going from these conversations like we're doing now. This is a wonderful start, but we're constantly starting here. We have to progress forward because, as you see, we got so many people attacking us. The very country the very people that sold us into slavery, y'all, sold us into slavery. Our ancestors worked hard for them to come over here and for them to get of this American life, this American dream, and they're spitting in our faces and they're spitting on our ancestors. So I'm telling y'all, it's time for us to start banding together. It's time for us to start delineating. It's time. It's time. And I land my plane, y'all.
All right. Thank you.
And
Can
I
I
think,
speak now? Can I speak to that? Hey,
Yeah,
Coco, I'm
Deborah,
a
you
hi,
got
woman
it.
for you too. In
go
the
ahead.
Inland Empire.
And like I
I
told
want,
you guys, we're not gonna be here all night.
okay.
So if you guys do want to come up before we wrap things up, y'all request now, because I don't want to. When I say we're wrapping things up, that's gonna be it. But
I just
Deborah,
want to say this. I don't know how to request, but he's absolutely right. But in the job that I work, see, they have different categories. We have to have our own category. They have Hispanic. They have Hispanic. If you're white, they have Hispanic. If you're Mexican, they have Hispanic. If you're Cuban, they have different. It's all broken down into categories, and that's how we need to be. Don't just put me under black and then African American, so everybody is in the same, the same cup. We have to do it and also know we want our own category. Yes, we do. Because we are the movers and the shakers. We have to always understand that the heat wouldn't be so hard on us all around the world, no matter where we go. If we were not, yes, I'm gonna say it, the chosen. We have to understand who we are. and go forward with that. I don't dislike anybody, but I know what I was told. You all know what you were told. And no, you should not get to ride on my great great grandparents' dime. Not today. And just all black folks ain't your kin folks. And that's why we have it right here in California. The so-called Black Caucus, they voted against reparations when we were so close. But guess what? All most of them are. They're tethers. They're not even FBA. So we've got to start doing our due diligence, right? We can't blame it on. We've got to start background checking these people. Okay, no, we're not going to put you in office if you're not serving our best interest. They'll never say that we can get, because see, they want to keep whatever they can from us. It's never a level playing field. Then I want to say this again: you only pick one group of black folks as if there's an FBA is only one type of people. We're in all social economic zones: rich, super rich, wealthy. You got upper middle class, you got middle class, you got lower middle class. Then you have some of our brothers and sisters that may be stuck in some of the different, and I wouldn't even say inner cities, because the inner cities have different stuff too. They're changing, it may be a less disadvantaged state, but particularly in California, you got to remember, we don't have the things that they have in the East Coast as far as, a lot of public housing stacked up on each other. So the California mindset is a little bit different. And then I want to put this, I'm going to land my plane. A black man and a black woman, we have always hustled together. Don't get it twisted. Don't believe what they say. Yes, I'm light skinned. I'm going to tell what the truth is. They're trying to dilute our blood. So see, and I noticed that they've been doing that past 10 years. Very rarely do you see a black man with a black woman. We would everything else but that. But you're not really representing us, because most of the black women I know are married to black men. My generations, which I got a couple lines up under me, are married to what? Black men. We still love each other. Don't believe that hype. And they just, what do they say? Don't be scared of a black planet either. And I land my plane.
Facts.
Can I back up the sister?
Facts.
Uh, she's absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? Because as you look at all these dudes that say, "Oh, I don't like black women," majority of them, like the guy that came up here, come from Caribbean or African backgrounds. Same thing with the sisters. When you see these sisters like, "Oh, the white man treat me better," da da da, I always see a foreign flag there. It's very rare that I see that they're actually a black American woman, because we've been through slavery together, and we're way more together. And then one more thing, we created R&B. Let's keep it real. R&B of the '90s, where it was, what was it talking about? Love between a black man and a black woman. Now, as there become more Caribbeans and Africans in the music, you notice you don't hear that no more. You even look at the videos; they put a whole bunch of light skinned women in there, or women that are not even black. If you go back to the '90s, when they had more foundational Black Americans in charge of the music industry, in charge of who the women that get on there, you saw dark skinned women, brown skinned women. As they get perfect examples, looking at England. This is why they have to come
Break.
over
I don't know
here.
if you're like on speaker, but you kind of like are breaking up a little bit.
Oh, my fault, my fault. How about now? Is that better?
Yeah.
So, but just one last thing. I think it was Ancient. They was talking about how they think that we should all be rich, and they're right, because my ex-wife, which I told you is Haitian, and she told me herself when she lived in Haiti, she thought everybody in America was rich. She used to watch Home Alone. She thought everybody in America had a house like Kevin from Home Alone. And when she got over here, she was shocked. And when she said that, it made sense, because I used to wonder, why did so many immigrants come over here and they so upset and mad? They really believe that the rich culture that is projected in Hollywood is real America. And when they come here and they go to the ghetto, they upset, because they really believe that America's milk and honey. They really believe that, because that's what's projected outside of America. So that's why sometimes you see some of these immigrants, not just the black ones, but Hispanic ones, they have this nasty disposition, because in their mind they sacrifice everything. So they should have a mansion, they should have a big refrigerator with mad food. That's what they really believe when they get over here.
Yeah.
Can I
Somebody in
say
the
something?
chat room said most richer black men have a YT or Hispanic girlfriend. That's incorrect. Okay, that's incorrect. And if it wasn't for certain rappers and maybe certain football players, y'all wouldn't even be seeing that. Now they don't talk about the football players that are dating black women. They don't talk about the rappers that are dating black women. They don't talk about that. But there's particular highlight of the ones who are not dating black women. Okay, those are the ones that are consistently focused on and consistently spoken about. All right. Another thing somebody was talking about, marriage in the black community is going down. That can really be another conversation. Okay. Because really, marriage in America as a whole nation, among every demographic, is going down. All right. So if we want to have a conversation about why marriages are declining or divorces are going up or whatever the case may be, that would be a different conversation. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to take a statistic that everybody in America is facing, whether you agree or disagree or whatever your opinion is of that. We're not going to take that and then just put that on black people and say, well, black marriages are failing, black marriages are going down, black people aren't getting married. And we're not going to look at it with the context of marriage as a collective is not doing as well as it used to do, which is another conversation. Where, regardless of your stance on that, we're not going to just put that on black people. Okay?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
So since they dropped off, you know what, in our communities, and stuff, so much stuff happened that you read about. I don't put nothing past nobody. So at the end of the day, once we united after, like, if you want to say quote unquote the election, after we united on that, and then we ain't been, protesting with anybody else. We've been in the house. And then Target, that's another thing that, like, when we band together and we make up our mind, we make stuff happen. So at the end of the day, it's only one way to push a narrative. So they start pushing anything that they can, or pay anybody that they can, or anybody that's not even Black American that they use that's in the spotlight to make it seem like we don't have nothing together, or we don't have our stuff together about certain things. I feel like they push certain narratives to try to make it seem as if we don't have nothing together, which they've always done, or deter us from doing anything that, we get on path to do. So at the end of the day, I feel like, with a lot of this hate between Black men and Black women, I'm not gonna say we don't have our issues sometimes, but at the end of the day, we are still, like, we still come on cold, like the Bloods and the Crips. Like, at the end of the day, we all still Black. So at the end of the day, we gonna still come together for a certain cause or whatever we need to stand for. And
What
I
up,
just
gang?
feel
What up,
like,
gang?
Hold on,
What
hold
up,
on,
gang?
hold on. I'm gonna let
I,
you. Let's let Coco go ahead.
I know, I'm finished right now. I just feel like it just be certain things from reading all these different books where they controlled us in so many different ways. It's just another way to control us. And if you don't read or you don't look up certain things, you will fall into whatever plan they got.
Yep.
You got to be aware, and you got to look for certain things that don't look right. So online, they could pay anybody to come on here and say, like, it's been many, lives or posts I've reported for being racist or whatever, and they'll come back and say, oh, that's not racist. Oh, it meets our guidelines or this and that. But no, you saying the N word, you doing this, you doing that. You not Black. You saying the N word, but it's okay. So it lets me know you pushing a certain narrative. So let us get on here and say something that we ain't supposed to be saying. You gonna get you gonna get blocked, banned, live taken down, everything. So it's a certain agenda. Even though this is not our app and this is not our platform, we still get censored. So you looking at something that's already censored. You got people sitting here looking at your videos to push a certain narrative for you to think a certain way. And if they didn't do that, if you don't think they did that with the, what they dropped off in our communities and, did whatever they did, then y'all got a problem. Y'all have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all.
We got to factor all that stuff in because all of that plays a factor. All of that plays a role in where we are in the community today. All right, so that's a very good point. Belinda, what's going on, brother?
Oh, question, bro. You see, you look a bit fair skinned. I don't think you're fully black. Like your father lineage, your blood is mixed down, so you have white and
If
Latina
he's
and stuff.
claiming
No,
FBA,
no,
what does
no,
that
no.
make?
He's
What
not
difference does that make?
FBA.
Let's let him go.
He's not FBA. His father
Okay.
was Fat Joe. Lean back. That was your dad. You're not FBA. You're not real black. Yeah, you
How
don't
can you
speak for
tell
black
him
people.
what he is?
Wait,
Listen,
wait,
listen,
cousin, wait,
listen,
cousin.
listen. The CIA is paying this man to stir hatred between
And
the
you're not
blacks.
funny, Bleeder. You're
He's
not
stirring
funny at
hatred.
all.
Yes, I'm right. He's a redskin Indian. He's a redskin Indian. He's stirring hate between us Americans, us real black
No, no. Wait,
Americans.
wait, hold
Sir,
on.
you are
You're
not a
not
real
black
black
American.
American.
You're Jamaican or
You're
something. Your name
definitely
is
not black
Bleeder.
American. Stop playing. And
Cut it
also,
out.
I don't care if he said he was an avatar. At this point, whatever you say is irrelevant. Stop it.
That's a British
These
accent.
people, that's one thing I just gotta say. Y'all sense of humor is just so bad. Y'all jokes never land. You thought that was funny or something. Oh, my parent is Fat Joe. Like
Lean back.
that is
Raggedy.
so corny. No,
Yeah,
and
raggedy.
y'all talk about getting picked on with look, I'm gonna go there. I am gonna go there. I'm gonna say it. Y'all talk about being called an African booty scratcher.
African booty
That's
scratcher. I
because
had to
Yep.
go there
look,
with
look,
you.
I'm with
that's
you. I'm
because
with you
they
on your
didn't have
right.
no comeback. Look at their jokes. We called them an African
Yeah.
booty scratcher. They started crying. Look at their jokes. They don't got no
Yeah, they take
comeback.
this shit.
You
I had
gotta
a
have a
guy from Ghana
comeback.
go
Come
off on me
on.
for 20
I was
minutes.
gonna let you rock,
Yeah.
but if it was funny, but come on, man, that's not. You just wasting people's time. You
Yeah,
damn
that
African booty scratcher.
that dude
And
was from
and,
Britain.
That's why I couldn't do it, brother. That's
and,
why I could not let that diatribe continue.
Ooh.
Forgive
but
me. I know I didn't mean to interject like this, but I'm gonna say it as hopefully and allow me this few moments. All of these immigrants are coming over here for an opportunity, and they seem to think that the opportunity has always been there, and that we have not taken advantage of that opportunity, and somehow we're out of pocket. They are completely ignoring that they would not have that opportunity were it not for the foundational black Americans.
Yes.
Period. They want to act like we're all on the same page. We are not. I've said it in other lives. FBA is decades ahead in this fight against YT supremacy. What they want to do is refuse to acknowledge our leadership in this fight. And they want to step in and come from the back pew to the pulpit and try and preach to the congregation. What they need to do
Preach
is
until they
just
fix them islands and that continent. And why you coming
exactly.
over here trying to give us advice and y'all homelands look like shit?
Ooh,
Facts.
give it to them. Yes,
Facts.
their governments is way more corrupt than ours. The savage shit that they do, and you mean to tell me you think you can come over and tell us how to be better? You
but
came over here because we're better.
but you know what though? You said a mouthful right there, Queen, because they got that big country, that big continent, with all of those states being ran by different presidents and they corrupted. They should be dominating the world. If you think about it, Africa, if they really work together and they all on the same page, has so many resources and things like that that they could literally be dominating the world in just about anything when it comes to their resources, but they're so corrupt. But want over here and try and talk about us. I mean, I just like I said, man. The crazy part is growing up, we're taught to like every shade of black. Even if you came from overseas and you was Africa, Nigerian, or you were any type of descendant of Africa, we were taught to love and and just accept them because if you black, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a shame to see how much they dog talk us
You
and act like
you're
we
breaking
are
up a
not
little
the
bit, brother.
sole reason. I'm sorry, but I just hated that they dog talk us and act like we're not the reason why they have the opportunity to come over here and live the American dream. It's disrespectful. It really
You
is.
want you want to know why that
I'm gonna
is?
say this. We've heard things about like a mass exodus and all of that stuff, and they've used that to really get resources. With the return home, return to Ghana, or whatever the case is. They honestly do not want a damn mass exodus of FBAs to Africa. They don't want
Facts.
that. They do
Did you?
not want that.
Can
And
I? Can I?
hypothetically, if we did, we would flip Africa overnight. If we did, we saying okay, all of this, y'all getting beat up by Asians, all of that stuff is over with.
Facts.
We would run
Yes.
Africa. Maybe
Right.
this
And
is a
you
little ego thing right
did you
now,
guys
but
have
we
an
would run the
opportunity to
whole
read the
thing. Like,
bylaws for the year of return?
Facts.
Did y'all have an opportunity to read that shit? And the
yes,
year of
yeah.
return, when I saw that, I was
I
offended.
ain't going over there.
I was
What's the
offended. Well, I'm not leaving,
particulars?
but I
Call
was
me.
offended. And people keep asking me because I travel a lot, what country, if any, would I want to relocate to specifically on the continent? And I told them I really wouldn't relocate on the continent. I've only been to maybe like 5 countries that I can name off top of my head on that continent, but to relocate indefinitely, I wouldn't do it. I was like, and then to come to this country and tell me I'm lazy. The definition of lazy is not wanting to put in the work, right? Y'all don't put in the work. You came over here. You could be in your own country fixing your own issues, but you come over here and then get indulge in the things that we have provided for ourselves. Like I don't want to hear it. We're a lot of things, but we ain't lazy. If we
That
were,
part.
we wouldn't have this.
That part. And
Yeah,
I feel
So
like they come over here and not even this conversation even about them because we don't need to give them no more nothing because at the end of the
I-
day, that's it. We don't need to give them no more nothing because they feed off of us. But at the
but
that's a
end of the
fact.
day, you coming
But
in
you,
our home, you coming somewhere that's already built. You coming here where like it wasn't just easy. Like you just can't go to school just to go to school. Somebody had to fight for you to go to school. So it's like you coming over here and you being ungrateful. You already let us know where you at. You need to come over here and get on code. Like you, if y'all loved us and y'all want to be together, this and that, y'all would have came over here. Y'all would have learned the history. Came over here instead of trying to teach it to us and get on code and help us fight what we need to do because we still fighting today. So y'all would have came over here, got on code, and then turned around, and we could have helped y'all in y'all land or whatever. But at the end of the
they don't
day,
want to
you
be
know
helped, sis. They want to scam. They want to
exactly.
come over
So
there and
it's
trick you and steal. That's what they come.
exactly.
They came to
So
pillage, just like people do in their country present day. That's literally all they know. They sell you,
Let,
they steal from you, and then they want you to be mad about it.
that
and
part,
let me
but
let
it's
me let
like
me
if y'all
and
want
if
us to be connect, y'all want to preach togetherness with us, but y'all don't come over here and be together on one accord. Even after learning our history that y'all want to teach us and tell us about, y'all don't come over here with no kind of fight. Like y'all come over here trying to say, "Oh, we ain't shit." Like I mean, ish. I'm sorry.
let,
Y'all say we ain't
The
let
ish.
social programs
all
we have
night.
for ourselves.
But
yeah, let me
we're
back.
gonna wrap things up shortly, so we're gonna let people get their final words out.
okay. Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
I just want to say this on the return to home thing. Um, the return to home thing. I would have considered it. That's a lie. I did consider it, but my reasoning for considering it was I was of the mindset of okay, if y'all gonna give me 40 acres and a mule, which is a home, land that I could farm on, and for little or nothing, because y'all really owe
Brother,
me.
I don't know if you're driving, but you really breaking up real bad. Like, yeah, you breaking up real bad.
Can y'all hear me good now? Y'all hear
Yeah.
me good? Okay, what I was saying was, I did consider the return to home only if they were going to give me my 40 acres in a mule. Land, house, where I farm, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. But I understand too that when we FBAs go over to Africa, right,
Hmm.
and we go shop, they raise up the prices. They scam us. They don't treat us like brother and sister over there. Like we come over here, we don't hike our prices up on them. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just the whole thing just didn't sit right with me on that front. And then also I couldn't abandon what my ancestors fought over here in the mainland. So I mean that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, we
yes.
have to do here. Thank you. Um,
So
we're gonna get to yeah, Morpheus, you got it.
okay, I was gonna back up. They're saying so. The reason why they don't believe anything is that they don't believe in blackness. You'll see a lot of them come over here say they didn't know they were black and so they move here. What they really mean, because I try to look and see what are they really talking about.
Hmm.
They really do see white people as gods. I know it's hard for us to understand as FBA people, but if you really go into their spaces, you'll find the same thing I'm just saying. They really see white people as gods. So when we talk about our civil rights, they think we're lying. They think that white people just one day woke up and said, you know what? I'm going to treat black people nicely. They really believe that. So when we say all this stuff, they don't believe it. They don't, and the reason why they don't believe it because they don't believe it in their home country. You listen to it, it doesn't matter if they're Caribbean or African. If you go into their spaces, let them talk long enough, you'll hear about how they can't trust each other because they scam each other. Even their own family members scam each other. So when they see us all together, they don't like that. They're like jealous and angry about that. So they want to break it up. That's why when we go over there, like the sister just said, their first instinct is to scam, not to
Mm,
build.
mm,
So I'll let you guys go with that.
appreciate that. Let's get to Gooby.
Yes, that's my nickname. I just want to say something. It's not really on topic, but it's on topic. I am a Black American. I live in Long Island, New York, and there are a lot of ghettos out here. Just like I know a lot of people don't think there are, but they are. And I worked in healthcare as a CNA for 14 years. And I can be one CNA on the floor with about six other Jamaican or African or Haitian CNAs, and they treated the white people, the YT people, like gods when they came in. The second they left, they were abusing the white T residents. So they have this thing where they do want to worship them, but at the same time, they got their evil ways in them too. So don't be like, don't get it twisted. They love them, but at the same time, they don't like them either. So I just wanted to say that. That's it.
Do you have anything to say about the topic or the prompt?
No, just that, honestly, because I was just listening to what he was saying.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. Cousin, Uncle, Grandpa, you got it.
Just call me cousin, bro. I'll
Cousin.
take that one. I realize I appreciate the whole acknowledgement, but just call me cousin because you know you my family and you who I'm not gonna stop rocking with. But what I
Yeah.
want to say to the family, so that they do not forget, we are a product of the new black media. The new black media will be Professor Black Truth, the Black Authority, Afro Elite, Tariq Nasheed, Phil Scott, Lisa Cabrera, Vicky Dillon, and a host of other brothers who are out here. Black Alpha Network, because my man been rocking lately. I don't want to forget him. We are moving our, or should I say, defining our line, and all we are doing is broadening our definitive path. If you are not part of our definitive path, you are nothing but a cosplayer trying to take advantage of everything that FBA has put forward. I'll say this again. We are not immigrants. Our path is not the path of immigrants. You can't ask me to vote for a Democrat or a Republican if they not offering or putting something on the table for me. Don't think I'm going to allow that to happen. Don't think I'm going to fall for that disguise again. You all have bought into because you come over here on for specific reasons. You understand that when you sign or you say you want to be an American, the United States government expects you to act a certain way. And most of the immigrants buy the mainstream media narrative that FBA is at odds with each other. That is what they are trying to do, is make sure and keep that divide up. Don't forget, Dr. Anderson told us 98% of us were here before 98% of all the rest of Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have the same agenda. Our agenda is for us. Our reparations is for us.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for those within the diaspora to come to America and say that FBA is not entitled to these things. I have no problem with our brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora challenging the governments that enslaved and debased them. This government right here is not responsible for that. This government right here is responsible to us and us alone. And you all need to stop trying to horn your way in to our reparative justice claims.
Mm.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And to the family, thank y'all very much. Drop me whenever you want, brother. Peace and love to you all.
Appreciate you. All right. Deborah, sister, you got it.
I'm not going to come behind Uncle. He said everything that very specifically and succinctly exactly what I want to say. But I do want to commend all the younger people since I am in my 60s that the flame is yet alive. And like I said in the comments, we need to build stronger gates because a thief doesn't rob an empty house, does he? I'm going to leave that with you. Why are they pushing back so hard? They know the greatness better than we do. Hold on. And don't get discouraged, because we don't win today. Excuse me, we have to fight for tomorrow. Now, my allergies are bothering me. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Call me Chris, sister. You got it.
Just want to piggyback on what everybody else said. She's absolutely right. Did I? How do you say her name? Deborah. Did I say it right? She's right. They don't rob empty homes. They know that there's a lot of special here. The whole world knows it. The most, I don't know if I'm going to leave you with a quick little statistic. The number one export that the number one export from the United States is Black American culture. They make more money of Black American culture than anything else in this country. So keep that in mind. That means everybody here that's FBA, you're effing magical, and they know it. And they've been able to capitalize off it for a very long time. Don't get sidetracked or distracted by these, silly little side comments from other people. We have to stay focused and we have to study the course. I do appreciate this platform. Really happy to be here, and I really do appreciate engaging with each and every one of you guys. Have a beautiful night.
Thank you, thank you. You too, thank you.
Too, call me.
Let's get to Coco, and then of course we got to hear from Halo about the situation.
I just want to say, I'm a dark skinned Black American married to a dark skinned Black American man. We have dark skinned Black American children, so don't think that everything you see online is what it is. There's many people being paid, and there's many narratives being pushed that it's not what it is. So my thing is, if you read the books when they drop what off in our areas, and then taught us the DARE programs as they had our parents going through, those certain things that was being done to us, that nothing is off limits. So when they see a bunch of us getting together and banding together, they only gonna start to put things in place that could separate us and not be together anymore. So it's many different examples of Black men and Black women, together, married and thriving. So at the end of the day, don't just go off of what you see offline. And that's my main thing. It's like it's always a narrative to be pushed, and it's always somebody that could be paid, or it always can be a certain agenda being pushed from, this is not a Black app. YouTube is not a Black app. Any other app you see that on, Twitter, whatever, X, whatever it is, that's not a Black app. So remember that you see these things, but that's not 100% the truth. And then that's just it. Thank you for allowing me. I just want to say thank you. I watch you, and I want to say thank you, BX, because you guys, I watch and then I speak, because I like to read, then speak, and watch and then speak, because I like to
Thank you.
learn what I'm talking about before I get up here and try to say, anything that, So I just like to watch and listen most of the time, and you guys are very, very, very informative, and I want to just say thank you for that.
Well, thank you, thank you.
Please forgive
You're
me. I
welcome, and
forgot
thank
to
you
say
for
thank you
calling.
to BX. Thank you, sister. I appreciate you. Don't. I love how you rock them, and I just want to make sure and give you your flowers while you're here. Thank you, sister.
Thank
So how long have
you.
you
Thank you,
guys been live?
cousin.
I didn't see you guys on live earlier.
No. I
We ain't been
shared the
live long.
lives to all your pages, Halo, or
Uh-oh.
maybe a couple of them.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and I needed you today because they really came for me today, honey. I had
Oh,
to
they
tell the
did. They
Caribbean
did.
girl that her people were snakes, and one girl called me a bee. Halo, let
You
me
know, I
ask
just
you a
got off work.
question.
I got off a little early.
Okay, let me ask you a question, family. Let me ask you a question. If somebody says they're Afro Latina and then get to talking about black people this and black people that, and relationship wise, and I tell them, ma'am, our households are different. Black American households are not the same as Afro Latina. Is that cause to call me a B? A bish? Right. Because then after she said she was Afro Latina and I was telling her there's a difference, then she wanted to pull that, well, my mama black. I said, I don't care. You already said Afro Latina. Like, what are we talking about here?
I guess they try
Y'all
to link
listen
themselves
to,
into black culture by saying, "Oh,
they
I'm black. I can do this. I'm black. I can do that." You still appropriating, and you still cosplaying because all black ain't
thank
saying
you.
black. So
You should have told her mama was a bit. Ooh, I'm sorry, never mind.
My thing. When they go home, they're listening to Tito Puente. We listening to the stylistics, depending on the age group. It's a difference, and that's okay. I'm not saying you're not racially black. What I'm telling you is culturally and ethnically, we are not the same. There are differences. Spanish men are very patriarchal, right? They're very macho too. And so there's a difference. I'm in between a Mexican and a Puerto Rican household. There's a difference, y'all. There's a difference in the way they raise their kids from the way we raise our kids. Okay?
I find it
Now we can
funny,
share culture, but we ain't the same. That's why we got to share culture.
but
We
I
ain't
want
of
to
the
do
same
any
culture.
other. I want to do any other group go through the things that we go through with having people invade our spaces, invade our culture. Do any other like group of black go through the same things we go through? Because this is crazy. Like I don't really
Fact
see
that
that
we're not
happening.
rushing to their islands, Halo, and getting in their government, no, they don't go through the same thing as us.
I mean,
Because
I'm
they
not over
over here
there
just running
saying that
amok.
tacos belong to us and I can do this because, yeah, I'm cool with a massacre. I call them massacres. But yeah, but yeah, I do want to say this. I purchased me one of your shirts, Afro. You know, I went
Oh,
to go
thank
purchase the
you.
shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah, I did. I got one of the little I had to get on, you know, I got a little Afro shirt. I don't know if I got was it on your YouTube? Because that's the one I
Yeah,
purchased.
yeah. The YouTube link
Yeah.
goes to the site. Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to you know, showcase it on my lives and
Yeah,
stuff.
I want to see it. Which one did you get?
Oh, I got the Afro Elite um um was it symbol? The Afro Elite symbol on my
Okay.
shirt.
All right.
But I got it pink though. I got a pink shirt.
Okay. Like see that. All right. Cool. Thank you very much. But yeah,
Yeah, I had to support. I had to support. Wow.
was my heart. Thank you. I wish you were here
Drop the
earlier.
link in the chat, y'all.
Yeah.
Foundation of Black Americans. I did
Yeah,
drop
get
the link
y'all a
in the
shirt. Now
chat.
y'all support FBA businesses. Y'all should support and go purchase a shirt. You know, go do something. Show some
And if
love.
you're not a foundational Black American, but you know a foundational Black American that you love, give it to them as a gift. Also, if you're in the New York area, we are asking that you come out to our parade and have your flag and accessories that you can purchase on Afro Elite site. Afro, do you have the flag on your site?
Just the Black American the design with the Black American heritage flag in America.
In the shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember that shirt I
Yeah.
was wearing that
Flag.
one
I'm gonna have to
time?
purchase me a flag too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have that.
Yeah. I'll put the website in your, because I don't like people bothering our people. So I'll put the website for the
Oh yeah,
flag in
so
your inbox. Hey,
if y'all
yeah.
want to find the shirt, I went on YouTube to find the shirt. So go to the YouTube page and go buy. They said they're gonna buy one. They want to buy a shirt. So go ahead and support. You know.
Let's go to Afro Elite on YouTube. Yep. Yeah. But Halo, just to give you a brief we were talking about this because I'm starting to see a lot of conversation, about like and they're tethers, but they're doing what they do, and they're going around talking about, black men are celebrating the downfall of black women, or black men this and black men this. And then Marshall went in there, and he was trying to have a conversation with him. And when they found out he was FBA, they kicked him out the room, and they started slandering him. So I'm all like, okay, so I'm seeing this gender war thing bubble up right now, and I'm trying to, ice that before it really gets to be a problem.
Hear you. I just dropped the website in her inbox for the flag,
Okay.
but she should still be able to hear you.
Yeah, I'll let her get her thing, and then we're gonna wrap things up.
Okay. Or she might have got a call. That's Miss Halo. That's our superstar,
Yeah,
y'all.
she just got off work too, so okay.
She dropped. Okay. She probably coming back up.
She in the she still in
But
the room.
yeah, today, yeah, she's in the inbox.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's somebody named Links. Let him up, Afro?
Uh, do you know him?
No.
No, then we're not gonna do that, because then I'm gonna let it. But no, we'll let Halo. We'll wait a couple minutes. We'll let Halo back up, and then yeah, we'll wrap things up because I got to be up in the morning. All right.
Yeah. So let me
Thank
get
you
this
again,
over with
brother, for
now.
allowing me up. You can go, like I said, you can drop me anytime because I don't want to mess up the algorithm for you. But, y'all be at peace, family. Love you all with everything I got. And make sure you all continue
Love
to
you
walk with the
more.
power of the Most High with every step that you take.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Okay,
It's a
no
pleasure.
problem. Love you too,
I
cousin.
don't know.
Afro, let me ask you now, when is the next time you're going live?
The next time I'm, I may go Sunday. I want to go Sunday.
Okay. All right. I stay away from the gender WAR stuff, and every time I say I'm going to give it a chance, because the host usually has the topic. But I think when she did, I wasn't expecting that B word. I mean, what is so hard
Yeah, I
about
mean, she
knowing you
got
not like
triggered. She
us?
was triggered. She got real triggered. You know.
That was weird.
That's
I
because
didn't
you
hear
called.
it,
No,
but I
no, you
don't think
called her. You
anybody
called her on
deserves to
her
get called
mess.
out
It's
their
not
name.
weird. You called her on her mess, and she wasn't prepared for
Right.
that. Because just
Right.
because you can use $50 words, that means nothing, darling. Because we can jump up to the $100 lane. Just put your money on the table.
That
Let's
part.
go. Jump,
It's
Judy. Because I
Yeah.
was gonna get her if you didn't get her. So and
black
BX and
Thank
people and
you.
Halo,
black
I
people
love you guys. I was
only.
like, ooh, she is on her grind. I was like, they better
I
leave her
actually wish I was
alone.
there for that because I'd have got on my ass. Because how dare you?
Mhm.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a different dynamic totally. It's no explanation. It ain't even no explanation to have. It's different. Period.
Yeah, that was wild.
Period.
But yeah, we can wrap things up here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if Halo's
Mhm.
gonna come right
Yeah,
back.
Halo's not even
So
in the room anymore. So
yeah, I want to just go ahead and give my final submission. So I kind of was watching the chat. The Caribbean now, for 60 something years later, want to say they were a part of the civil rights. They want to say they were a part of Harlem Renaissance. So you got Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, Marcus Garvey, there go Halo, Stokely Carmichael. Four Caribbean men cannot carry our civil rights movements. You are missing the fact that it was our people, and I question y'all timing on saying something, right? And so this is why I say similar does not mean same, and Pan-Africanism was a harm. The Caribbean were snakes to us when they were able to migrate here in mass numbers. They went and they were able to buy homes in certain areas, and when they were started selling the homes, they locked us out. And the disparity can be seen today. So when I say they were snakes to us, they were snakes. And I've been coddling them all this time. But now I'm pissed.
mhm.
I'm pissed because y'all ain't getting nothing popping in your homeland, right? You really can't use but two beaches. British is still your heads of state, so how are you independent? I see the fishermen crying they can't go get supper. I see the other construction workers saying the Asians are taking all the jobs. I know that the resorts are being privatized and all this stuff. And y'all have a petition going out because you can't practice obeah publicly on that island, right? But y'all got a and y'all got a high rate of paternity fraud there. That means the woman say it's yours, but it's probably the man down the lane, right? But y'all got so much to say on Black Americans. And even through all of this, we check our government, and y'all in our government vote no to things for specifically us. But y'all are going to CARICOM getting things specifically for you. Yvette Clarke is monopolizing all the caucuses and getting things specifically for Caribbeans. And the moment we say we need something for us, hold on, you our representative too. We're hateful, divisive, and a cult. And it's taken me months to tell you about the island of Jamaica and how they get them businesses started in the 90s, honey. It wasn't legal. I live in New York. I know all parts of y'all. And I still sit here and listen to you talk about my people. Well, Chin, you done met your match, honey. Don't talk to me the next time you're allowed back in this chat. Because I'm tired of explaining things to y'all nicely. Now I got to get gully with y'all. A lot of reasons why they had them restaurants in the early 90s was smug money, D-rug money. Okay? Let's cut it out. Y'all ain't no more than us. Shower posse. When y'all was unaliving us at high rates. And then going to Philly, and then going here, and then going there. So Jamaicans want to walk around here like they all that. Jamaicans are the Nigerians of the Caribbean. You know when the British said, we're not giving you direct cash payments, the Prime Minister is head of board on CARICOM, and guess what? He gave himself the okay to go after reparations for the island on their own. So the Jamaicans are just snakes, right? So if you want to come and try to pick us apart, I'm going to pick y'all apart too. It's no more being nice to the Caribbeans. I'm going to tell you where you're from. I'm going to tell you what your people are like. Because I know what the Africans are doing in New York too. Marriage fraud. Or you go uptown, and when they driving taxi, they're honking at the people that look like fiends. Meanwhile, they got a wife at home and probably 10 on the continent. Now, I bet you they're going to call me xenophobic, but I'm tired of y'all. Black Americans have been getting it popping in New York, throughout the nation, since we were brought here, right? And the indigenous that were always here, because they had a bunch of revolts too. So I want y'all to cut it out. We ain't never need y'all. 4 Caribbean men cannot carry the civil rights movement. And y'all only bringing up certain things during this time, but you need to put some energy onto them islands and onto that continent. Be the example, be the leader. And y'all are black nations, and y'all all failing. And then the one people that can help y'all out, y'all are picking us apart. Like we ain't somebody. Like our ancestors ain't somebody. Honey, y'all failed the moment y'all decided to migrate here. You need a green card, you ain't like me, and you don't need nothing that I'm supposed to fight for. And that's on period. Y'all go sit down, reflect on how y'all was snakes and how y'all messed us over. Because playtime is over for me, guys. It's over. Because they doing too much. They doing too much.
I'm sorry, y'all. My phone went dead.
Yeah, okay, no problem. You plugged it in, mama?
Yeah, I plugged it in.
Okay, go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, I hear you going off. So you were saying like from what I heard that you said that Marshall went in on a panel and they were talking about the downfall. They were celebrating the downfall of black women.
No, it was a woman. It was a woman who was hosting it, and the prompt was that black men were celebrating the downfall of black women because it's a thing in the federal government where they're like 300,000 black women lost their jobs, and in the prompt they were saying black men are celebrating black women losing jobs. And then Marshall went in there and he was all like, well, I haven't been seeing nobody say that. I haven't been seeing any black men saying that. So, but if I did see that, I would hold them accountable. But black men and black American men and black American women have been getting along. And the second he said that he was a black American, they cut him off because they all like, oh, we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to specify that Black American women and Black American. So then it became a thing when he said he was FBA. That triggered her, and this is what he told me. I wasn't there, but this is what he told me. And then they just started going off on it.
So it's tethers,
Yeah.
doing what tethers do,
Yeah.
spreading hate. Like I tell a lot of these people, these gender WARs, they be tethers. Like these be people that had their own insecurities in their own land, going through what they going through with their own men and women, and they come over here and throw it poison into our communities and make it seem like it's us. Like what? That is so dumb. I haven't seen any Black men celebrating that because I just now heard about that, and you know we be all over TikTok. So, girl, please like who's celebrating? What man you know celebrating? Your man celebrating that you lost your job? If that's what happened to you in your own situation, but don't just be throwing that all on Black men, making it seem like they're celebrating a Black woman's loss. Is you crazy? And then she had to be a tether. They don't like the FBA
Oh
term. They
yeah.
don't like the FBA.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, these tethers is getting out of hand.
And the thing is that they trying to start the whole gender thing, but the thing is that once we call them out for where they're from, it kind of strips their ability to do that, because then we say, okay, well, you can represent your country, your ethnicity, but you can't represent the whole. And that's what they're trying to do. Be all like, if you got an issue, you can talk about what goes on in Sudan. You can talk about what goes on in Angola. You can talk about what goes on in Jamaica or whatever the case is. But you're not going to sit up there and project whatever issue you feel like is going on onto the rest of the community. You
Right.
can't do that. You know.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying. They have their own issues and they bring it over here and throw it into our
Hmm.
face. Like it's just, to me, it's just disrespectful. These tethers, they running out of ideas that you ran and made something like that up.
Hmm.
You're
Oh
running
yeah.
out of ideas.
Yeah, that's been. I have even I looked to see if that was true. I have not seen a single video of Black men being like, "Ha ha, y'all lost a job." I've not seen that. I've not seen that.
Is there a reason why that many Black women lost their job?
Uh,
Was it just specifically Black
No, it
women, or
wasn't
was it?
just Black women. Now, Black women were the first to go, but now we're seeing a big mass of white women leaving the workforce, and a lot of that is because of the role. These are government jobs, okay, and a lot
Right.
of that is because the government is downsizing, so they're cutting a lot of jobs. They're cutting a lot of like the office jobs because of they're taking away, DEI and stuff like that. Okay. So a lot of these are like government jobs that are being cut. Okay. So that's kind of the reason.
So it wasn't just Black women; it was white
No,
tea
no, it
women as
wasn't.
well.
Yeah.
And okay, well, as long as we see some white tea people walking about them offices, then I'm
Yeah.
I
because
want to speak on
I would
that
have been
for a
like, okay, so
second.
what we doing?
I
Like,
want to
I'm
speak
with
on
you,
that for a second
Halo.
because I was a federal employee and I'm actually going to lose my job at the end of next month, and I'm totally fine with it. I was a government contractor, so that is a situation. But the crazy thing is, the government's so fickle. Give it like maybe 3 to 6 months, and then it's going to be an influx of rehiring, and see who they rehire. That's going to be the problem.
Mm.
well, we know it ain't gonna be
Keep
them
an eye out on
Latinos.
them. Yeah.
We know it ain't gonna be them.
We're required to speak English now, so
No,
definitely
we know it ain't
gonna
gonna
be
be
them
them. We know it.
Latinos.
Ain't no
We know it
bilingual
ain't.
advantage no more. I'm so glad. Ain't no bilingual
Exactly.
advantage no more. Oh,
Mm-mm.
I'm so glad we don't get that.
Honestly, I don't even
We
think
need to
it's gonna
govern the
be no
accents
immigrants,
too.
because I think Trump is trying to clean out the closet. If you really want to be technical, like I don't think Trump want any immigrants in politics or even working in our government. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Well,
Which
he
I
said he
don't.
wanted to drain the swamp, so I'm not
He
mad
need
at
to
that.
drain it. I don't care what he do. I need them people up out of them chairs, out of them seats. I look, all skin folk and kin folk. I do not
Yeah, I was gonna
care.
say the accents is what get me too. People think because they speak English that it's a palatable one. Baby, I don't know what you just said.
Man, man,
You know what
do
I'm saying?
you
I can't
understand how
stand it.
much patience we
Facts.
gotta have? They gotta repeat the question. They don't know a lick of English. It's like they're
You
reading a They're reading
Thank you for
the
calling
English
such and
word.
such. I'm like, listen, and I'm not even trying to be
I
mean or
gotta
be
keep
that
saying
person.
what? What you say? Huh?
Right,
What?
right, right. Or you have to break the English. You have to speak in broken English just for them to understand what they're doing. And I'm like, listen, if English, especially American English, isn't your first language, it's going to affect how you hear, digest, and regurgitate information. And I ain't got time to educate you. I just need you to reset this pen. Like, why we got to be here 45 minutes for you to do a
Yeah,
5 minute
you
job?
on there
That's
talking about A is
irritating.
for Apple, B is
Right.
for that.
Yeah, you
I
got
mean, come on
Alpha
now.
Charlie Bravo. I don't have time for that, and I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm dead serious. Like I said, I'm a world travel person. When I'm in there, when I'm in Rome, I do as Romans do. But when I come home, I should be able to just talk like I'm talking to you, and it's understood. I will hang. And I hate to say this, but I hang up on some. Sometimes I just don't have the energy
Mhm.
to go through all of that. So I just hang up
How
until I
is
get
they getting
somebody
all
I can
them
talk
jobs? You
to.
don't even hear the white tea people on them call lines. Like, how is it
No.
y'all? Every time somebody calling is y'all on the other end.
And when
Like,
I
why ain't
finally do
nobody
get somebody, I
American? Like,
swear on my
what?
life, I just be like, I tell them, I'm like, thank you so much for existing and coming to work today, because because I've been able to cover more ground with you than I would have had it been somewhere foreign. No, no tea, no shade. I just don't have time to be, to say things like, oh, it's too much this, too much. I don't have time for that. I just don't.
And what's worse about that is
Damn
that
about time.
they'll get the job before you because technically they'll claim to be bilingual. They can barely speak English at all, as if they don't know the language, but because they know a couple of words or a sentence or two, they can qualify as being bilingual. They know
Well,
their
they did that
language
for the DEI
fluently,
hire
barely
though.
know your language, but they'll say they're bilingual.
Yeah, and then
Have an
and all
advantage.
they have to do. So I used to be a merchant marine for a while, right? And
Mhm.
I decided to contract myself out to the private company. So the private sector is a lot different than government for sure. So
Mhm.
when I was in the private sector, they would make us take written tests online to see, how competent we are. So they ask you the exact same question 3 or 4 different ways to see if it can trip you up because there's a lot of people who get in these roles saying that they're bilingual and they understand, but one sign will say this and another will say that, and it means the exact same thing, but it used to whoop their ass. They couldn't get through with it. So if you happen to get through that firewall and pass the course, they'll literally tell you to sit. You're in a room with a computer, and you're in that same room is a phone. So once you pass the test, they'll tell you to stand by and wait for a phone call. Literally, the phone would ring, you answer the phone, and they were just calling to whoever it was on the other end was American to double check your accent to see if you really were able to, do the job. And literally, you just say hello, and they'll say thank you for taking the test, and hung up the phone in my face. But if you were like Filipino or if you had a Jamaican accent or something like that, they will give you another series of questions just to make sure you qualify. I'm not mad at that. At first, I thought it was excessive because this was like maybe almost 10 years ago. But now I understand, what was behind that because you really wouldn't have to deal with as many frustrations as you deal with present day because of that.
Yeah.
It's actually insidious if you think about it. Why do I have to press one for English? I know America doesn't have an official language, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right,
but everybody here speak English. Shut up.
right.
Yep.
That part.
Yep, that's true. But BX, can you close us out? Appreciate that.
Afro, do you think you could go live early on Sunday? You want to see what the early Sunday
Like
crowd is
Sunday
like?
morning?
Um, or afternoon, like 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can.
Will it be this topic again? I think I see why you put black,
Hmm.
but I don't want to have to go through this again. We might have to always emphasize Black American, if that's who the warning is for. So I just want to say to everybody, I understand you're Black. We get it. But like we just described up here and expounded upon, we're not doing things by race anymore. Caribbean is a lineage, and Caribbeans get things specifically due to their lineage. They have whole commercials advocating for their lineage and why it's important they get funding specifically for them. Africans is the immigrant, African immigrant. That's a lineage. That's theirs. That means they come from anywhere, they're continental Africans, and they get things specifically for them. They have caucuses designed specifically for each of their lineages. But
Hmm.
our caucus is spread out through everybody, not only the whole Black race, but other marginalized groups. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm really mad that that lady came in here and kind of shifted my mood because I even had a decent conversation with Mandinka.
Mm.
about erasure of our people.
Mm.
Now I'm not gonna say that I go to the next live and me and her don't go at it because she just likes to troll us sometimes. But I have a way to explain it. And if you're not getting it by now, and I've been on this app for months, pretty much being calm, telling you the same thing until I feel you disrespecting my ancestors, then I gotta drag you and then it's okay. But y'all gotta understand this. It's a form of erasure because if everybody is African American / Black American, then what am I and my people? What is Halo? What is Afro? You know what I'm saying? What is Coco? What is Call Me? What is OO Chaos? Like, y'all gotta really get it together. Y'all are causing erasure. And at this point, your politicians are complicit. And if you hear my voice and you understand what I'm saying specifically for that, then you can other yourself. You can write in Afro-Caribbean. Like, it's not that hard. Mexicans used to write in Mexican. And black people used to pick black. And white tea people used to pick white tea. There's a way to fill out those forms where you don't erase my people, which eventually erases my ancestors. Now everybody want to talk about colonial times and they was here and Jamaicans was here and the Caribbeans was here and we know the Africans was here and then diners we couldn't eat at. Like, when do y'all show real solidarity, real reciprocity to us? Not just my brother or my sister, we all black anyway, but I mean policy that's going to affect. When are y'all going to vote for policy that will be specific for foundational black Americans? The way we voted your people into office and you're getting policies just for y'all. I want y'all to think about it. When Afro Elite comes back live on Sunday, I'm trying to get him to come a little early just to test the algorithm, see how that works out. But in the event, when he comes back, if y'all remember, y'all want to talk about it, tell me if y'all understand what I'm saying. Because if everybody's African American, Black American, and we all black anyway, then what the hell am I?
Mm.
I don't speak patois in my home. I don't speak Swahili. I don't speak Spanish. I speak English and my ancestors' sacred language. That's what I speak.
Yes, ma'am. All right. If you guys want to listen
Yeah.
Can
to
I
the
say
play,
one thing?
what just
Just one more
be
thing.
quick, yeah.
Just about I know black American women, we got a lot of power, and I know they were saying September 1st we're going to boycott the hair care for black women and try to take our power back and our money back within those fields. So if the Africans or whoever they want to get on and show us their solidarity, they need to show us then, because that's what we finna do. And that's just what I want to say.
All right. Um, if you guys want to listen to the playback, you guys go to For the Culture on YouTube. Shout out to everybody listening on YouTube. Thank you very much. Go to For the Culture on YouTube. You guys can listen to the playback of this live and all of the other TikTok lives that we've had. It's a lot of great content on there. Go to For the Culture on YouTube. Also, go to my YouTube channel, which is in my bio. The link is in my bio, so you can follow me